Hi Aries, welcome to your week ahead taroscope with me, Raphael from Radiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. If you haven't already, please don't forget to like, share, and if you should so choose and it resonates, hit that subscribe button. If you are already a continued subby, you know I love you for it. If you would like to book a personal reading with me, you can do so on the website address below. And before we start, as always, I would like to bless my deck of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity, and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise, and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So this week, your first week of a new month of the second half of the year, you got the High Priestess for the key to the week, right? So when this came up in your monthly reading, if you haven't seen it, check it out. What I talked about was you going within, right? Your High Priestess is about your intuition. It's about the deeper part of you. And this week, it looks like your intuition it's leading you, it's guiding you. Now, I'm going to be really honest with you. I feel like this is going to be a process. It's not just going to be that you wake up on the 1st of June and you're like, okay, my intuition is on fire and, I suddenly know everything. It's going to be more a case of, over the course of this week, there's going to be a constant stream of information and influx of energy that comes through your intuition. You're going to have leanings, you're going to have feelings and stirrings, and you're going to have maybe even little whispers as well that sort of take you into like a different, not even a different direction, but take you on a journey of sorts. And it's not going to be that this all comes in one. I actually feel like this is going to be a process. It's going to be a week where things are just revealed to you slowly but surely and steadily. Your intuition will gather and gain in strength and power over the course of this week, and there are going to be different things that are revealed to you over the course of this week. So pay attention to what comes up. So for your actions and options this week, you have the King of Pentacles. So you are very focused on working behind the scenes on your job, on your career, on your work. Maybe some of you are deciding to go back to school. Maybe you're gathering and gaining practical knowledge and skills that are going to help you. Now it looks like, because you've got the High Priestess there infusing this whole thing, she's kind of informing you that when it comes to your money and materials and your finances, even though this is about your actions, right? When it comes to your money and materials, the King of Pentacles, when it comes to how you show up in the practical world, you are going to be given an understanding or even an insight into how you are seen, why it is that people are asking you questions. It does look like this week as well, a lot of people will be asking you what your opinion is. A lot of people might be almost putting you in the seat of the leader without necessarily asking you or declaring you to be that person. If that happens this week, try not to get frustrated, right? Because we've got a full moon lunar eclipse taking place this week. So it's just about paying attention to how people respond to you and where it is that they kind of pitch you at. If people are asking for your opinion, it's because you it's because you presently and currently are the person with the most knowledge and expertise, and also the most steady hand to guide the tiller. Pay attention this week to how people react to you. It's going to be really important. For your communications and conversations, you have the 8 of Swords, right? So again, this week, there's a lot going on within you this week, and there's a lot that is coming up for you. Now, it may very well be that you are feeling a bit sort of stuck or bound by your responsibilities. It may very well be that, and people don't necessarily associate this with Aries, but it might be this week that you just want to kind of have your book, have your blanket, lay on the couch and kind of be left alone. Whereas this week, it's going to require a lot more from you. There's a lot of action orientated energy here. And there's also the energy of responsibility. It looks like there's going to be people contacting you left and right, which is why this week it's going to be really important for you to have some healthy boundaries. This High Priestess, there's a lot going on within you. There's a lot that's coming to you. There's a lot of insight that's happening, and it might cause some sort of frustration, and you might be feeling not necessarily the pull, but you might be feeling the burden of the responsibility that is being placed on you. And unfortunately, Aries, I have to say, this is a week where you just have to meet it. Whatever the challenge is in terms of that, this is not a week for you to be sort of just about yourself. Unfortunately, you're going to have to be you're going to have to be further out there, if that makes sense, you know. So for your money and materials, wow, you got the 10 of Cups. So the rewards for the work and the effort and the responsibility are great. And this is what you need to know. All of the money, the resources that you need in order to live will be provided. The caveat is that you are going to have to be an active participant in everything that's going on for you, whether this is at work, whether it's within your family. This is about you being consciously connected to everything that's taking place. But when it comes to your money, it looks like the resources that you need are there, because the universe is kind of saying, I get that you're going to be busy with everything else. And, you know, like I said, this is a very behind the scenes week. So it could be that you're almost like you're playing that supporting role. And so therefore, kind of, you know, people could be saying, oh, you know, don't worry about food. I've got you dinner. You know, thanks for doing this, by the way. That, you know, the praise is there. The support is there. The financial rewards are definitely there. But it does look like you are very busy this week, not just behind the scenes on your own stuff, but you're having to be present for everybody else and their stuff too. And then finally, for your love and relations, you've got the Ace of Cups. This is a fantastic week for love. It's a brilliant week for familial connections. Now, one thing that you do need to be aware of, because it's underneath that 8 of Swords, right? So this week, like I said, it's not just your job or your work that is kind of requiring more from you. It's also your communications. It's also your love interests, right? So whether this is your family, whether it is your... yeah, you know, whether it's your family, whether it's your significant other, maybe it's somebody that you're just getting to know. Love looks good this week because it's very much supported. It's very grounded. In fact, your relationships will be this week where you're gaining a lot of the stability that you need. Right, but it's also that those relationships are this week going to require a lot more from you. You may have to play the mediator. You may be bound to a situation that you'd rather not have anything to do with. Unfortunately, there is no escape energy here, so you are having to be present. And then finally, with the High Priestess infusing this entire week, for those of you that are single, it looks like somebody new is revealing themselves to you. It looks like a partner, maybe even somebody that you're seeing, you know, or, you know, is kind of on the radar this week, says, look, actually, you know what, I'd like to take this in a real direction. I'd like to make it more solid or more concrete. For those of you that are already partnered, this looks like a great week. There's a lot of brilliant energy here for you. But like I said, it's going to require you to dig deep, to use your heart space energy. There's just going to be a lot that's required from you, both behind the scenes and, you know, out on the scene, so to speak. When it comes to familial ties though, I really feel like this week you could either be playing mediator or, like I said, dragged into a situation that you're like, oh, do you know what, I could do without. Unfortunately, you won't have that option, so you've just got to be present. And then finally, with the High Priestess, like I said, infusing this whole week, do expect a few big ones to be coughed up this week. And I'm talking secrets, I'm talking things that you didn't know, things that you weren't aware of, pieces of the puzzle. Some of them will come internally and a lot of them will come externally. So this is going to be a really interesting week for you guys, for sure. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a fantastic week. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up for you. Take care, and I'll see you soon.